Hey BoLS fans, AdamHarry here with another BoLS review. Today I have the new Dark Heresy role-playing game book from Fantasy Flight. This is the second edition of the Dark Heresy role-playing game. And right off the bat I want to say good news: if you have a bunch of Dark Heresy stuff or anything previously produced, this system still works together. They tweaked the system based on player feedback, and they've added a new stat almost, but other than that you can still use your old stuff. It will take a little bit of work, just some minor tweaks, but you can make your old supplements still work with the new Dark Heresy role-playing game second edition basically. So it's not a super huge drastic change, but it is new enough to warrant probably taking a gander through this book, picking it up and seeing what's new. So with that in mind, I do want to point one thing out. For me personally, I actually have the original Dark Heresy core rulebook as well. So I was comparing the two and just going through some of the differences here. The character sheet looks different. The theme, the setting, everything else is the same. Some of the skills have been tweaked. The character classes and character roles have been split up. Character generations slightly different, but it's the same basic stuff. If you've played Dark Heresy before, this isn't going to be that big of a change. If you haven't ever played, this is a great point to jump in, because it's, again, just like the first edition, only tweaked. So I'm going to quit blabbering on and we'll jump into the book real quick. Marketing wise, blurb wise, this is a hardback rule book. It is about 447 pages, I believe, full color. Really high quality artwork all the way through. Here's the back of the book as well, as you can see there. So innocence proves nothing, which is exactly the tone of this game. So basic rundown of the game: if you've never played before, you are part of an Inquisitor's warband, they call it, instead of henchmen this time. So you're part of this warband, and or her warband, and you go through and you do stuff for the benefit of humanity, whether it's, rescuing a kidnapped governor or nuking a planet from orbit, just to be sure. Whatever you have to do to save humanity, you're the grunts on the ground. You investigate, you kill, you learn about the dark underdark of the grimdark. That's a lot of dark stuff going on. So inside the book, again, full color, high quality stuff. Right off the bat, I noticed that the picture is gone, which this is the new picture. This was the old opening of the book. My copy's a little beat up. This was the picture of the galaxy as they know it. So, or the warp, I guess. Yeah, it was cool. Anyway, that's a new one. The art's different. The art's pretty much new and reused. Some of the stuff, there's a lot of vibe from John Blanche style stuff, and new art all the way through. Stuff I hadn't seen before. New classes, or tweaks classes, I guess. They've changed the way that works. They've renamed some stuff. The Emperor there on his golden throne. I do want to make one special call out here real fast. A little bit of fan service here. I want to point this out real fast. You can see here, the game was produced by a guy named Tim Huckleberry. Tim Huckleberry, we actually got to meet at Gen Con. I'm going to put a picture right here. That's Tim in the middle, that's me on the left, and that's Big Red Larry on the right. Really great guy, funny picture Larry. But he also helped create the Gene Stealer cult way back in the day. Really huge influence on me and Larry, as we both had knit armies back in the day too. And so thank you, Tim. He's a producer on this book, and he's not only that, he also is a writer, development and writing. And just to show that this isn't his first rodeo, if you didn't realize that by the fact that he did the Gene Stealer cult, he was also in the first book as well, right there, Tim Huckleberry, with contributions from Tim Huckleberry. So yeah, he's been a part of this game, and now he's a producer of the book. So Tim, thank you. That's enough fan service for me. Going through here, I'm not going to flip through the entire book. I want to just show off a couple of things, and I think I just skipped the content. Yeah, here we go. So, the game is broken up into 13 chapters. You have playing the game, core rules. Again, if you've played before, nothing's changed too much. Couple of minor tweaks to the mechanics, nothing serious. The investigation stuff is new. Character creation is new. If you have played before, you want to read through this. It's changed up a little bit, but it's not going to be completely alien to you. If you haven't played before, obviously you're going to want to read that. Skills, those have been tweaked. I would recommend going over them. Townsend Traits, also tweaked slightly. The Armory, this is just fun to go through personally, I think. It's got neat pictures of all the weapons, all the weird stuff you can find. Everything from your trusted heavy bolter to, crazy needler pistol. So it's all in there. Cybernetics, vehicles, mounts, so all that fun stuff. Psychic powers, this is also slightly tweaked. Read that over. Still use psi ratings and stuff like that. Combat, probably going to want to read that. Even the core mechanics haven't changed too much. It's always nice to get a good firm handle on how the combat works in this game, because eventually everybody's going to have to shoot something. So over here, narrative tools. This is good for the GM to read, but it also goes over stuff like narrative time and structured time, which are slightly different. Basically, narrative time is your travel time, social interaction, how you're meeting with people, affecting them, influencing them. Structured time is more like combat, where it's fixed time and you need to have precise time increments to figure out turn orders, stuff like that. Chapter 9 is Imperium and the Inquisition. And it goes over more of the history of the Imperium and how the Inquisition functions in there. You can actually become an Inquisitor in this game, which they have a little blurb, and I'll show you later exactly what that means and why you should be careful with that. And then this is the story, Skeleton Sector. This is chapter 11 is the Game Master and their special section that they always have in most role-playing books. NPCs and adversaries, there's your monster manual stuff there. And then Dark Pursuits, this is the other adventure. So this first one's kind of like a generic guide, and it kind of explains some of the worlds and stuff like that, just kind of as an example. And then this one is an actual adventure time. So, alright, so let me reset the camera, and yeah, let's go jump in. I wanted to show off some of the core rules, just real briefly. The stats haven't changed too much. You still have weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength, toughness, agility, intelligence, perception, willpower. There is one new stat, which is the fellowship, and then the new stat is influence. So now there are 10 things. Influence, this measures the character's connections and reputations and resources. So this basically handles how you can use your influence, if you're well known, to get stuff done, to get information out of people, to request backup from other factions like the Death Watch, for instance. Basically, the core mechanics of the game, you determine the value of the characteristics or skill being used. So in this example, if you were shooting somebody, you're making a ranged attack. So you look at your ballistic skill, and you basically want to roll under that. So if your ballistic skill is 45, you want to roll under a 45 to have a successful hit. You apply any modifiers. So if it's an easy shot, it's going to be a bonus. If it's a hard shot, it's going to be a negative. And there's a whole chart for that too. And then you roll dice, and it's percentile roll generally. So it's two 10-sided dice, and you want to roll under it, like I was just saying. Apply modifiers, roll dice, skill test, characteristics test, all that stuff. And they have examples to kind of walk you through that stuff. It's pretty straightforward. Degrees of success and failure, that can have an impact on other things. Extended test, post test. Again, basic core mechanics haven't changed too much from the previous edition, but I'm not going to run through every single thing because I want to go over this book and not exactly all that. This is the chart I was talking about with the difficulty test. It ranges from trivial, a plus 60, all the way down to hellish, where it's a minus 60 to the test. You can get assistance. Up to 2 players can assist you, generally on the assist if it's an assistable function. For instance, you can't get assisted for a poison check or a fear check, but you can get assistance from the warband when you're trying to, you know, overturn an upside down vehicle. So those are the examples they used. So character creation. Oh, actually, there was one other note that I wanted to point out here too. That's all new. This note right here. This is direct from the horse's mouth here. What is Dark Heresy 2nd Edition? As you can see here, you can read real fast. The new edition updates the original Dark Heresy role-playing game while retaining the core mechanics such as skills, talents, weapons, and combat familiar to veteran players. Revised from over 6 years of player feedback, it also includes new rules for investigation, social interaction, vehicle combat, and more, including a new setting to offer an even better game experience. As it shares many of the rules from the previous edition, earlier supplements and adventures can still be adopted for use with minor effort. So again, you're not gonna have to rebuy everything, but you may want to pick up this rulebook and at least read through it and get a good grip on everything else. So character creation. So first thing you do, just like in the other one, you choose your homeworld. There's different stuff here. This has been changed slightly. The fate you get, your fate points, have changed. It's no longer. It's still assigned to you, but anyway, if you play the previous edition, you had to roll on a chart. In this edition, you no longer have to actually roll on the chart. It's fate's given to you. Also, backgrounds and stuff like that, recommended stuff. So. But basically the same stuff. Forge World, Feral World, Highborn, Hive World, and I believe Shrine World, and I sneezed, excuse me, and Voidworm, excuse me. So those are your starting planets, backgrounds, more cool art. This is new too, Adeptus Administratum. So they've actually gone through and they've renamed a lot of the backgrounds of where your characters come from. So, and this kind of gives you some history for your character, kind of pre-made stuff. Arbite, let's see, Astro Telepathica, Adeptus Mechanicus, Adeptus Ministorum, the Imperial Guard. Now known as the Astra Militarum, Outcasts, and that's pretty much it. The different roles in the game. This is basically your character class in some regard. So assassins, Chirurgeons, these are your surgeons. Desperado, Hierophant, Mystic, Sage, Seeker, Warrior. So yeah, those classes are different from the other book. So I'm not going to flip through everything again. I keep saying that, but I just wanted to show off. Those are all new. Character creation is a lot different. I would recommend reading through those sections just because you're going to need to. So the skills are all different as well, or not all different, but they have been tweaked. I would flip through that if you're a veteran player. Character sheet is different as well. So format's similar, but it is different. So as you can see here, the stats are now there instead of in the middle. That's in a different spot, but yeah. So all right, what else do you guys want to see? Let's flip over to Townsend Traits. That's just going to go over the different Townsend Traits, obviously. So, Assassin's Strength. This is the stuff that kind of gives your character some flavor and different things they can do in combat. So, the Armory. This is one of my favorite sections. This is just cool. The Armory section is just cool if you're a fan of the 40k universe. You just get more information about your favorite weapons. So, a wire. And then all the cool pictures for bolt weapons and stuff like that. Fun stuff. Flamers, las weapons. I'm looking for a particular section and I don't know this book well enough to just skip right to it. So bear with me here. Protective gear. That's always fun. Let's see here. Excessive drug use and addiction. Yes, drugs are in this game, and they can kill you. Perils of the Warp. Warp powers. This section's new, or changed. It's not new. It's been modified. Let's see. Combat. Everybody loves combat. I keep hitting the camera. Sorry. Here we go. This is my favorite section of the book. Critical effects. This section is probably, how do I put this? It's my favorite section because it's the most flavorful out of any role-playing game I've ever had the pleasure of playing. The critical effects basically tell you exactly what happens when you get a critical on a particular body part. It gets a little descriptive, but it's also really fun. One of my favorite critical effects chart was the plasma critical effects, or energy critical effects. So, for example, energy critical effect to the body. Number 7, the intense power of the energy attack cooked the target's organs, burning his lungs and his heart with intense heat. The target is stunned for 2d10 rounds, and his toughness characteristic is permanently reduced by 1d10. If you're taking critical hits, you're either going to die soon, or it will just kill you straight up. And they're very flavorful. There's a lot of text. The original writers, and I guess that, you know, when they redid the book, they just had fun with this. Some of this stuff is kind of cartoonish and comic booky fun. Some of it is like from a medical book, and you're just like, whoa, I didn't realize you would do that. But it's very descriptive, and it paints a really clear picture of how visceral combat can be in the Grimdark here for the Dark Heresy role-playing game. So, yeah, read through this chart. It's fun. In this section, it goes over vehicle, like I said earlier, vehicle combat is new, vehicle usage is new, but it goes over all the different arcs and all that stuff. It just cleans up some of the rules. Generally speaking, if you were playing with vehicles in the setting, you probably knew how they worked from 40k or have had some previous experience, but now they actually have codified it for you, so you know exactly how vehicle combat works. Narrative tools, that's just, again, goes over narrative time and different social encounters and downtime and stuff like that. So fun times there. Let me skip ahead real fast. So, Black Fleets. Yes. It goes over in this section. This was always fun. Cool picture. This is the sector map, or the galaxy map, I guess. So, there's Terra, just like it always is. There's the Ultramar segmentum there. Ultima segmentum. Where's the Eye of the Warp? Should be over. It's probably right there. I don't know what they named it here. Yep, there's the warp map, or the galaxy map. So. Oh yeah, good stuff. Let's see. Alright, pause real fast. There's another section I want to show off. This was the section I was looking for, and it was actually at the beginning. I knew that. This is the Inquisitor. Creating an Inquisitor, or actually becoming an Inquisitor, is an option now. But it does want to just preface that with some GM guidance. It does say that having an Inquisitor or multiple Inquisitors in your party can really have a huge effect on the game and the story that you're trying to tell. It can have a huge effect on campaign narrative. Inquisitors in this game are just as badass as they are on the tabletop, in the sense that, you know, they can condemn a hive to be destroyed or a planet to be, you know, virus bombed. I mean, they have a lot of power. It takes 1,000 XP to get this upgrade path and 75 influence, which is no easy task unless your GM's just handing it out like candy. So Inquisitors can be, you know, can be a thing in the game. You're no longer working for one, you become the Inquisitor. So that's kind of cool. At the same time, I would be very careful if I were playing to give somebody that ability, unless you had a really good idea of what you wanted to do with your campaign. So that's in the game. There's another section I wanted to find. This section is another one I wanted to show off. This is the investigation section. This kind of talks about what you're doing as far as going through, finding clues, interacting with different groups, with your investigation talents. It's following leads and just that type of stuff. But this is a big part of the Dark Heresy role-playing game. Basically, you know, it's not, well, it could be just a, you know, quick dungeon crawl, blow 'em up, but a lot of the Dark Heresy games I played, there was a lot of role-playing involved where you're actually playing the role of an inquisitorial henchman and warband, going in, trying to find stuff out, trying to locate a cult, trying to do what you needed to do to find the real root of the evil and sort that out. And sometimes that root just happened to be, you know, a gene sealer cult, or it just happened to be a demon of like a demon of corn, a bloodthirster hanging out, and it was bad times when that happened. But you have to investigate, so that's another thing that I really wanted to call out in the game. So yeah, very bad things are running that. So fear and shock in this game are very detrimental, just like they used to be. But yeah, that's pretty much the last section that I wanted to show off. There's tons of info, tons of background in this book. I would highly recommend it if you're just a fan of the setting, and want to learn more about it. If you're new, this is a great resource to read through. If you don't want to play the game, don't pick it up. But hey, even if you're just wanting to learn more, there's tons of background information in this book, and it's all in one spot. So man, this is just the NPCs and bestiary section where you kind of go through the bad guys, so all that fun stuff, and they give you stat cards for each one. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this review. Again, it's 400 and almost 50 pages of full color. Definitely think it's worth the price point. High production value from Fantasy Flight Games. Check it out. That is the Dark Heresy role-playing game, 2nd edition. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the review. I know this is a bit of a long one and I rambled a little bit, but hey, it's AdamHarry from BoLS. That's what I do. Hope you have a good one, and like, subscribe down at the bottom. Thanks for watching.